Okay, great. So thanks, Alex. Thanks
Okay,
for joining this video testimonial. I know that you have been looking forward to it ever since I mentioned it. But what I would like to do is just introduce you to the rest of the LinkedIn, basically. So if you could give us a general overview of what you do as a recruiter, your areas of expertise, and also the company that you work for and that you own.
sure. Zander Search, we are executive level search business focused on go hunt, go find, go engaged, and hire. Senior end of the market, working around financial services, fintech market, and consultancy with a leadership and business management orientation.
Fantastic. It's really good to hear. And how long have you been doing that for?
Well, I've been a headhunter for 25 years. Zander Search is just 13 years old. So we set up in 2009, but I started in search in the mid 90s for my sins.
And would you say that it's changed quite a lot from the,
Massively.
yeah?
Yeah, absolutely massively. Far more targeted, far more in depth. Says what they're looking for. We really can be consultants now because the amount of data and information we can get, not only from talking to people, from general research is massive.
Amazing. Thank you, Alex. Great. So if we could just go into what aspects of Talent Ticker that you're using, and kind of why you purchased it as well.
Yeah, sure. So I originally purchased it for a business development tool, a pure business development tool. It was a way of looking at who's doing what quickly, names of people, media releases, etc. It then turned to a general research tool. So still business development, but also then when approaching individuals on searches, having some content behind the business they work for, and some of the news for their own company, so that you can pick up to make decent conversation. We then started to push that into the next level of research, which is finding people as well. So we've gone through the full life cycle with Talent Ticker. Started off as a single dimensional, who's recruiting, who's active, what does the news say, all the way through to who should we be speaking to for searches and why should we be speaking to them.
And do you find that, obviously you spoke about the market changing a lot and recruitment changing a lot, do you find that it's now even more important to actually know more about these companies before you reach out to them? Do you find that builds a lot more of a relationship?
Yeah, it's imperative. At the end of the day, if we're going to charge a client X amount of money, we do need to know what we're talking about. We really need to know what we're talking about. And the other thing is, if you think about certain tools out there that people use on a day-to-day basis, it's so easy for your 6-month experienced recruiter to reach out to a CEO because they find the name and it's easy to do. Those CEOs, CFOs, CIOs, CTOs, whatever, they will only respond to people where they think there is a value in talking to them. So you have to demonstrate that value. That's not just 25 years in the seat. That could be 25 days in the seat if you know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, it's dead simple. They just won't talk to you. They won't engage in a conversation. And quite rightly so. Why should they?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think there's a lot of, it's so easy to kind of see someone who actually cares and wants to speak to you compared to someone who is just mass mailing everyone, and it's a very different kind of approach, and definitely easy to kind of weed through now, with kind of today's day and age. Great stuff. So you've obviously said that you've used quite a lot of Talent Ticker. You've been with us for I think over 2 years now, which is obviously fantastic.
Mhm.
How are you currently utilizing Talent Ticker's data? Is it in the same way, or does that kind of change each day? Is it still kind of the digging in?
The fundamentals stay the same, which is information and data. How does it change on a day by day basis? It depends on the search, on the project, on the person that I'm talking to. It depends where I'm at in the life cycle of projects. I'll give an example. We did a project for a CEO in Asia about 7 or 8 months ago, and we did the research the old school way, and it was using Talent Ticker, and then we cross-referenced it and did a complete gap analysis. And so what Talent Ticker did was it highlighted gaps in our research. I'm doing another CEO search at the moment where we've done it the opposite way around. We've actually started with Talent Ticker, and then we've gone to old school research methodologies. The key is, it's like anything. It's not one tool, it's how you piece them all together. But the one thing that we have seen with Talent Ticker is it gives us the ability to cross-reference our data, to check our data, to question ourselves. And it gives us the ability to actually have a conversation with somebody knowledgeable. And so when I say to an individual, do you know what, actually, this isn't the right search for you, I think this could be a really interesting conversation. It's because I truly believe it based on the information that I've got from Talent Ticker. But Talent Ticker is the piece that pulls all those other nuggets together. It's a piece that links all the research and allows us to check, test, and assess our own research.
So that sounds incredible. It sounds like you're almost at a point now that you would struggle if you didn't have Talent Ticker. Is that maybe not struggle, but it's a lot easier with Talent Ticker?
We would never be
True?
as efficient as we are. No, not
That's
at all.
great to hear.
You know, it's like saying, listen, I could still get to Manchester if I couldn't drive a car, but I'll get there a lot quicker if I drive a car. It's as simple as
It's
that.
that. I love that analogy. That's good. I'm a fan of that. I might be using that actually from this point forward. Okay, great. So I think you've kind of gone over the next thing I was going to ask is about the biggest kind of impact that Talentic has had on your business. But it seems like it is the fact that it brings everything together and it's just making you a lot more efficient. But is there anything else that you'd want to add onto that?
No, you know, it's the other reason I like it is because, you know, I used to come in the mornings and I used to look at the FT, look at the BBC. I used to go to Reuters. I used to go to insights. I go to one place and I get one set of information. And because the information comes from numerous places, it means that I can actually, again, get all different points of view.
The next question is, what wins have you actually found from Talent Ticker? Whether that is just time saving, whether that is like you just mentioned, kind of that structure that it helps you with. Have you had any other tangible wins?
Um, the most tangible win is my day-to-day efficiency. Okay, I can talk about money, I can talk about revenue, I can talk about finding candidates, but you know, the most tangible win is the day-to-day stuff. It's every single phone call, piece of research, piece of engagement is better. It's more efficient. You can't quantify that. You can't say, yes, I won a piece of business and it's made me 70,000 pounds of business. But what I can say is that every single day when you log on and you do your research, it makes you a better headhunter. And at the end of the day, that's what makes the money.
That is incredible. I think we might have to quote you for that. Every time you log in, it makes you a better headhunter. Yeah, that's gonna be our new tagline, I think. But amazing. Thank you so much, Alex. One last question I'd love to ask is: would you, from the sounds of it, I think it's a no-brainer, yes. But would you recommend Talentica to another recruiter or an agency?
If they want to be a headhunter, a content-driven headhunter, without question. If they want to be a shuffle paper, I'd probably say leave it to the proper headhunters.
Love that. Fantastic answer. Great. Well, is there anything else that you want to add at the moment? Any other
The only thing I'd say
comments?
is you know, there are lots of apps out there. Working with you guys and the team is easy. It's really engaging. If I've got a problem, you always come back to me. If you've got a question, if you don't have the answer, you'll go and find it. So I couldn't ask for more.